in Shavasana, make sure that you feel supported, that you feel like you could actually take a big exhale and sink in to your mat, to the ground. Kind of let the day wash away. Give yourself a few breaths just to show up on your mat, because here we are, ready for moving and breathing and maybe a hint of joy. As you're getting settled and noticing your inhales and your exhales, I will share. I thought it was a good news. I liked this. You know, every so often I share these from, it's called The Week. This one is, students celebrate New Jersey crossing guard retiring after 57 years. Hey, Charlotte, welcome. So you're just going to lie down and have story time, something good for your heart and for your mind. Known as the Queen of Walt Whitman Boulevard, Claire Ballman has spent the last 57 years keeping kids safe as they walk to and from Horace Mann Elementary School in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The 94-year-old started her job as a crossing guard in 1965 and said she kept coming back because she loved the kids and staff at Horace Mann. It's just awesome, she told CBS 3. They've done so many things for me here. It's such a great school. After nearly 6 decades of service, Bauman decided this would be her last year. And to celebrate her retirement, Horace Mann Elementary School started planning several different events. Last week, there was a parade held in her honor, and on Monday, she arrived at work in a limo driven by one of the first students she met at the school. It's been a send-off fitting for the Queen of Walt Whitman Boulevard. I hope that the person that takes my place likes it as much as I did. I loved this school, loved everybody in it. It's been a good 57 years. OMG. I hope that I say that about yoga. It was a great 57 years. All right. Oh, I'm still going to need my glasses. Make sure you're comfy. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the body scan. This is all about observing with your mind's eye, noticing, but not moving or changing anything, unless, of course, you need to move or change something. Just observing. We'll start by noticing what is on the floor, touching the floor, and what is not. And notice where your attention goes when you think about what parts of your body are touching the floor and what parts are not. Notice your legs and your feet. Does one heel have a stronger connection to the floor than the other? Are they pointing in the same direction? Not changing, just noticing. One leg might feel longer than the other. And are your knees pointing in the same direction, maybe off to the side or up toward the sky? Notice your pelvis. Does one side feel heavier or more grounded than the other? Does one side of your pelvis feel higher than the other toward your armpit? Notice your lower back. And is there a little bit of space? Notice how much space is between your lower back and the floor. How about your rib cage? Does one side feel heavier than the other? Can you notice your shoulder blades, one on either side of your spine, the upper back? Notice your arms, your hands. Are your palms facing up or down? Do your arms feel spaced from your body evenly, or maybe one's closer? Notice your shoulders. Again, one might feel heavier than the other, one might feel higher than the other. Notice your head resting maybe on a pillow or a blanket or on your mat. It might be slightly turned or tilted. Thinking about your whole body here. And imagine you were lying on a balance beam. Would you tilt to one side? Or where would your weight be? Would it feel the same? And you can go to the beach if you'd like in your imagination and imagine what imprint your body would make in the sand. Where are the valleys? Where are the crests? And you choose from the crown of your head down to your toes or from the toes up. You just scan around your body with your mind's eye, with your breath. We practice this awareness. We want to enhance our understanding and our ability to inhabit our own body. That is part of the practice of yoga. When we're aware, we're present. You might begin to deepen the breath now. You're welcome to take a sigh or two out of the mouth if that feels good, just letting go. Maybe wiggle your toes and your fingers. can invite a smile onto your face. For the next 3 breaths, imagine your whole body inhaling and exhaling. Every cell, every space, every digit, even the eyelashes. Whole body, one time, inhale, one more time, and whole body exhale. And you can just let your breath be now. Bring your hands to touch at heart center, allowing your body to breathe in its own natural rhythm. Notice how you feel after checking in, maybe a little more connected. And let's send some love out into the world to a specific person or place. And you can release your arms and you'll take one hand and you're just going to rub heart center. You can make some circles. You can switch direction. And then we'll switch hands and you can do a little heart tapping, just gentle heart center, tappity tap, tap, tap. Always connecting here to this space. And then let your arms reach out into a T. And wrap yourself in a hug. Whichever arm is on top is fine. You'll just notice. And then you'll open up the arms, maybe a big inhale and exhale, hug again. Other arm on top. So you can switch your arms each time. Inhaling, spread your wings. Exhaling, wrap yourself in some love. Full breath, arms open and arms hug. Do 1 or 2 more, well, maybe 2 more each way. So each arm gets an opportunity to be the top arm. And then you can pause. Arms in a T, just noticing shoulders, chest, upper back, breath. Bend your knees. We'll hug the right leg in, holding the thigh or the shin, or not holding at all. You can always do that. That's a little more active. Remember, passive is when we have the arms to help. Active is, oh my goodness, I have to hold this leg here all by myself. Well, notice your hip crease. So this area where you fold, when we hug the leg in, Notice if you're trying to hug it as far as possible, and if that feels tight and icky, maybe you can soften and let the leg go away from the torso just a little bit. Actually creating a hint of space in there, even though we're in flexion here. For the next few breaths, perhaps you'd like to slide the left leg out. And you decide the left leg can be Shavasana, just kind of relaxing there, or you can make it a little more active by pressing the heel down and toes toward the sky. Let's release the right leg, bend the left, and we'll switch sides. Hug the left in, holding shin or thigh, or not holding. And we'll spend the first few breaths with the right leg bent. Will be an opportunity to straighten it out in a moment. But again, notice the hip crease. This is a second side, a whole new hip. Maybe you need a little more space. If you'd like, slide the right leg out. Allow the leg to relax, or toes toward the sky, heel down. If you were standing right now, you would have perfect balance. You'd just be standing on this right leg, holding your left leg. A few more breaths here. Notice if your shoulders have gotten involved. Can you let them rest? And release your left leg, bend your right. Take your feet a little wider and let your knees fall together just for a moment. Really allow the hip flexor, hip crease area to soften. Let your arms rest wherever they feel good, maybe back in the T shape. We allow ourselves these pauses, this time to be instead of do, so that maybe we take that off the mat and out into our life. And separate the knees. And locate one of your pillows or a bolster or a blanket. We'll bring the pelvis up onto your cushion, onto your support. Making sure you feel just right and adjusting if you don't, to get it like Goldilocks, just right. When you're ready, we're hugging in the right leg again. Now with the pelvis elevated, you can hold the shin or the thigh. You can keep your left leg bent, or maybe you'll straighten it here. Same thing, it can be relaxed or a little more active, toes toward the sky, heel on the ground. Because the pelvis is elevated, you'll feel a little more stretch sensation on the thigh and the hip. And we breathe. I'm totally going to look up that crossing guard because I just have a vision of what she looks like in my mind. So I'm going to be Googling. Not right now, of course. Take 2 more breaths here, and then we're just going to switch one little thing. You'll hold behind the thigh now of the right leg. Hold behind the thigh. And we'll straighten and bend the right leg. Any amount. You're not trying to have the leg perfectly straight. And if it feels too much with your left leg long, feel free to bend it. Bring your foot back to the ground. Any amount, straightening and bending. Next time your leg is up, pause and take a few ankle circles each direction. And then try pointing, toes reaching to the sky, and then heel reaching to the sky. Ooh, hello. Calves, shin. And we'll slowly release this right leg. Bend your left, pausing for a moment before we switch sides. Just noticing. The right leg and hip might feel completely different than the left. Hug your left leg in, holding shin or thigh. And maybe sliding the right leg out. If at any point you feel like you've shifted and your cushion is not working, you need to adjust. You just bend the knees and adjust it. Get it right so that it feels good. The straight leg can be relaxed or a little more active. Shoulders relax and we breathe. Switching your hands behind the thigh now, so we can straighten and bend. And you may notice at first, the muscles are very excited. Whoa, what is happening? And then as you repeat the movement, we say, okay, safe, feeling pretty good. Next time your left leg is skyward, hold it there and try a few ankle circles, not rushing. We're taking a few in each direction. Find that nice circle. Part of the circle is a little flat on this foot, if I'm being honest, some information about my ankle. So we notice these things about ourselves. And then you can point and flex, reaching through the toes and then reaching through the heel. Releasing the left leg, bending the right leg. Let's take the feet a smidge wider and again take tripod legs, letting the hip creases just soften, relax. Let your arms rest and invite a few deep breaths here, not forcing, but letting them be full. We'll take the knees apart. Bring your arms by your side body. We'll take one arm up and over and return it to your side. And second arm, reaching up and over any amount and then coming back. Nice, easy pace. You can think about your arm if it started all the way down at your waist, at your hip, and just imagine length along the whole side. Yes, please. And take one more with each arm. And if you would like now, you can straighten both legs out. Let's get situated here first. A couple things to think about. If you feel like you went into a giant back bend, draw your ribs down to the mat. If it feels like too much, bend the knees. That's not a problem. Would you like your legs active? The toes face the sky, the heels are down, or it might feel okay to take like a Shavasana leg, relaxed legs. Now you can do single arms like we just did, or now you might like to take both arms at the same time, up and over, and then back down. Just creating some space for the whole body. Next time your arms are up and over, pause. If that does not feel okay, bring the arms back down, or you can continue moving them. Otherwise, we're here. Very long shape. Front, sides, and back body breathing in, breathing out. You might even want to take an audible exhale here. Two more breaths here. Returning your arms to the side, bending your knees, and pausing here for about a minute. If you would like to take your legs up into the sky, you can do that, or keep your feet on the ground, or even come back into tripod legs. Arms could be anywhere that they feel good. Please bring your feet down. Taking two more breaths here, supported bridge. And we'll be taking the cushion out. Take your time, lifting, sliding it out, not always easy on a sticky mat. And you can straighten your legs out. And we'll take the right leg to the right. It might go off your mat. It might still be on the mat. You'll know that you went far enough, because you'll feel that. And then the left leg will follow. Sometimes nice to hook the leg. So I took my right leg and just stacked it on top of the left. Your pelvis stays grounded, both sides down. So we're feeling some sort of stretchy stuff. Left outer hip, maybe front of hip, and maybe someplace else. Now, today I'm going to offer, you can stay in Shavasana arms here, or T arms. because we just had our arms up and over. But if you like it, you can certainly move the torso a little bit to the side and or add the arms reaching up and over. Both sides of the pelvis still grounded. So we really feel the length on the left side and the right side is contracted. Let's send a big, beautiful breath in to the right side. We'll keep the legs. You can stay where you are, or you can begin to bring the body, torso back into neutral, arms down. And we'll take a few more breaths here, and then we'll undo the legs. And bringing the legs back. Noticing what neutral feels like for a moment. It's always neutral in air quotes because who the heck knows what your body did today. So we just feel and we do that body scan, noticing. Then left leg to the left, right leg follows. Maybe hooking left leg on top of right. Pelvis down. You do not have to do the same thing on this side, but remember, you can do Shavasana arms, arms in a T. You can also scoot the torso the same direction as the legs, taking the crescent moon shape, and maybe reach the arms up and over. It's a little more available to breathe into this right side. It's the left side now that is contracted. So make sure to send a loving breath in there. You can stay right where you are or start with the torso and the arms to come out of the pose, but we'll leave the legs for a little bit longer. And we can bring the legs back. And bend your knees. And hug your knees in toward your chest. Like an upside down child's pose here. And stretching. Now the hips, maybe the buttocks, the low back might feel good here. You can be still or you can gently rock side to side. And bring your feet down to your mat, knees bent. So I would like to do a few bridges, but I want to take them nice and slow. I want to remind you to use your buttock muscles. Feet are going to press down, especially the heels. Push, push, push. And we'll leave the arms out of it for now. We'll lift the hips up and lower down, nice and slow. Maybe scoot your feet away from the buttocks a little bit. And then press down and lift up. Nice and slow. And we lower back down. Again, you might want to scoot the feet away from the buttocks. Pressing down, lifting up. The farther we go away from the buttocks, the more you might feel your hamstrings. You're welcome. You might get a cramp. I am sorry ahead of time. Okay, last one, maybe scooting away, maybe not. Pressing down, connect through the heels, lift your pelvis, and then lower down. And place your feet where they feel the best for your bridge. And let's come up and hold a bridge. You can come out whenever you'd like. You can turn your palms down and press your whole arm, hand, forearm, upper arm, shoulder, pressing down using the arms as props. Press your heels down. Find your buttock muscles, let them turn on. And don't forget to breathe. And we'll slowly come back down. Slowly coming down. Left leg on top of the right for thread the needle. Any variation. You can stay here on the ground. You can draw the legs in. You could even take the bottom leg skyward. So left leg is on top. Any variation. And we have time, so you can spend some breaths in each variation if you would like. Wherever you are, take a nice full in-breath, fill all the way up. Maybe pause at the top and then open your mouth. Exhale. Twice more like that. Big breath in and out. Can release this first side. Taking the right leg on top of the left. Noticing and knowing that you have time to spend some breaths in each place, or you can stay wherever you want the whole time. Maybe taking 3 full breaths here with an open mouth exhale. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Releasing your legs and coming into starfish, just letting the body stretch out, arms in a T or maybe in a Y shape. Legs can be off the mat or not. You could truly go as wide as you'd like with this shape. Take up as much space as you would like. That is also a reminder to take up space when you're off the mat and out in the world. See if you can let the body surrender into the mat, into the earth, into the floor. Supported. You don't have to do anything but let go. You can come now into Shavasana shape, adding support for your legs, covering up if it's cool where you are, you want to be cozy for your Shavasana. If you have an extra blanket, I'll just show with this one from my head. It can be very grounding and soothing to have a blanket kind of draped across pelvis and thighs, or even from chest to thighs. Let your arms rest by your sides, palms facing up or down. And I will ask you again to decide from toes to crown of your head, or from crown of your head to your toes, to do your body scan, to notice all the parts, just a few breaths noticing, and then let yourself rest. You can decide if you would like to stay and rest longer. Please do that if you'd like. Or take a few deep breaths, filling up whole body. Letting a smile come onto your face. Wiggling toes and fingers. And maybe hugging your knees in, maybe again taking a full body stretch, reaching your arms up and over. And your next stop is fetal pose. You bend your knees and roll to one side. Pausing to notice how you feel after your practice. And bringing yourself up to sit. Let your hands connect at heart center. You can bow your head in, surrendering the head to the heart. Thank you for sharing your practice, for being here. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you, friends.